Hello. So today I'm not out in nature doing this recording, unfortunately, but it is all right. As long as I can speak into the camera, I can speak into the camera. My plans change. I was going to go out in nature, but Happy New Year's to you. Now, this topic today that I'm going to be speaking about is how to overcome addictions and also the root of all and any addiction. I'm going to get right into it. Now, when you say the word addiction, people's mind usually go to alcohol or drugs. And I believe that is a little bit biased because there are many other types of addictions. Let us list some of them. Let me list some of them. Hoarding, collecting all kinds of things, never getting enough. Just collecting magazines, books, pots, pans, stoves, appliances, clothes, shoes, and you just take it and you hoard it and you never get enough. Shopping all the time. Shopping and never getting enough of shopping. Sex is an addiction. Addicted to sex. Never getting enough. You're also addicted to alcohol, addicted to church, addicted to drugs. Yes, addicted to church. So all of this stems from not feeling good enough on the inside. And so you're looking for something that you can fill up that emptiness inside of you that does not feel good enough. Somewhere along the line in childhood, it usually begins in childhood. Someone made you not feel good enough. I don't know who it is, it doesn't even matter. But someone made you feel not good enough. And so you are trying to feel good enough by becoming, and the thing about alcohol and drugs and hoarding and shopping is that the good feeling only lasts for a little while and then it goes away. Okay? What alcohol and all addicts are looking to escape a bad feeling, to look for a better feeling, escaping pain, looking for pleasure. That's what addiction is you're trying to escape a bad feeling, looking for a good feeling, and it is never ever going to be enough. Now, when it comes to religious people becoming addicts, they will be the worst addicts that you will ever find. Why? Because you will find that usually the addicts who are really in a very terrible phase of their lives, usually they have some religious background. Well, that is because somewhere along the line, someone made them feel not good enough when they were a child. But not only is this someone not making them feel good enough, the God that they serve is making them not feel good enough, because this God is saying you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, and you have to do that to please me. If you don't do this and that and that and that, I am not pleased. So you live with this constant dread in your mind that I'm not good enough for God. And the more you try to be good enough for God, the less you will be feeling good enough for God. Trust me, I've been there. Trying to be good enough for God and always falling short. Trying so hard to be good enough for God and always falling short. Now, the way to overcome any addiction is for you to learn or to reprogram that part of your mind that has acquired a belief that you're not good enough. Because if you would only know who and what you are, you will know that you are even more than good enough. You are a powerful spiritual being. Your essence fills up the entire universe. You are divine. You're a divine being. If you would only know what you are, then that belief in your head that got planted there by someone who probably was hurt by someone, who was hurt by someone, who was hurt by someone. You see, hurting people hurt people, and it goes down to the generations. So You don't blame them. You just realize that someone hurt them and they hurt you. That was the only way they knew how to live life and how to cope with the hurt within them. But now, I am speaking to you now. I am telling you that you are enough. And how you do this is you begin by just taking pieces of papers and writing "I am enough" on them. And you plant them all over your house. You put it in your car where you can see it. Put it in the mirror in your bathroom. Put it in the mirror in your bedroom. And put it on your alarm on your phone when you have to wake up. So that when you turn off the alarm, you will see the words "I am enough." You see, and repetitiously you have to do this, you see, because the same way that your mind was programmed to feel not good enough, it was done repetitiously. Maybe somebody told you, you are not beautiful enough, you will never amount to anything, you will never make it, you will not succeed, you are ugly, you are not as beautiful as your friends. You are crippling things to cripple your mind for the rest of your life. But here is where it stops. Take a piece of paper and just write, "I am enough." People, beautiful women, getting into really bad relationships, abusive relationships, because they don't feel good enough. They want someone to love them. They want someone to like them. They want someone to accept them. And they get into these horrible relationships because they don't feel good enough within themselves. Young men or young women trying to become accepted in a peer group, joining these groups that force them to do drugs if they want to join the group, and they do it. Why? Because they want to be accepted, because they want to feel good enough. But you need to begin to feel good enough within yourself, because within yourself you are completely complete. If you raise your vibration to that extent, high enough to where you connect with your true nature, you will realize that you are more than enough. You are a divine being. You are complete, and you need nothing from no one to make you feel complete. But because you are on a lower vibration, and you feel like you need this and you need that and you need this and you need that, you feel like you need someone in your life to complete you when you yourself are fully complete. You feel as if you need this drug in your life to complete yourself when you yourself are fully complete. You feel like you need all these things that you are collecting in your life for you to feel complete, but you are complete. But you just don't know this because you have not raised your vibration enough to connect with your true nature, so that you can realize that you are indeed really enough and complete. So because you have not done that, let us start with the basic part where you brainwash yourself into realizing and believing that you are enough. And do that every single day. Write on a piece of paper, place it all over your house. And if people are saying that you are crazy, so what? You are on the road to recovery. I am enough. I am enough. You need to learn to walk away from relationships that are harmful for you. You are a beautiful, beautiful being, a beautiful, spiritual, powerful being. And you need to walk away from relationships that are harming you and not good for you because you don't feel good enough. You need to learn. And when it comes to a religious person and addiction, they are the ones that are crippled really, really badly. Why? Because not only are they condemning themselves, the God that they believe in is also condemning them. So there is no escape for them at all. No escape, because right in that scripture it says you are going to go to hell if you drink that alcohol. You are going to go to hell. So that is the most crippling thing in the whole universe for any human being to have to want to endure. When the source of creation that created you is condemning you and saying, I don't want anything to do with you because you are drinking. I don't want anything to do with you because you are on that drug. When you believe that that which you call God is against you because of an action, you will do that action even more. And that is the thing about condemnation. Condemnation and judgment make you do the sin more. The more you try not to do it, the more you will do it. It's just the way the mind works. If you tell someone, try not to think about a monkey for the next 5 minutes, Try not to think about a monkey for the next 2 minutes. The only thing that will be in the mind will be the monkey. That is how. If you try to tell the mind or to control the mind cannot be controlled. The mind cannot, you cannot, that is not how you do it. The mind cannot be controlled that way. If you place an impression on the mind and say that is wrong, that is sin, that is bad, that is the very thing that the mind wants to do, because the human mind does not like limitations, you see. Because the spirit within you, the being within you is so powerful and so magnificent. This body that we have is a prison for it. It doesn't like limitations. So when you give the mind a thought that is limited, as if to say, you can't do this, you can't do that, it will rebel against it. Okay? Because you are a limitless being. So when you tell a religious person that has inner wound of not feeling good enough or not being enough, and they're having this problem of trying to escape that pain through alcohol or drugs, if you tell that person it is a sin and God will punish you, you're going to hell, those are the worst things you want to say to a religious person, because they will drown themselves even more in the alcohol and the drugs, because they will feel even more not good enough, even more condemned, and even more just a scum of the earth. And the more you feel that way, the more you drown yourself, because you're not focused on the root. The root is not because it's a sin. The root is not because it's a demon. The root is not because it's a devil. The root is not because you're a bad person. The root of the problem of any addiction is that deep inside your heart, you don't feel good enough. And that is the only thing that you have to fix, to feel good enough. Now, when you begin to reprogram your thinking and reprogram your thoughts and start accepting yourself and start loving yourself, self-love, you will see the addiction begin to disappear. For some, it will disappear immediately. For others, maybe gradually, but it is very effective. But it begins with you learning to love yourself, learning to accept yourself,